This is CNN Breaking News.
We're learning dramatic developments of a foiled plot to try to blow up an airliner on the anniversary of Osama bin Laden's death. Elise Labott, our State Department reporter, has got some information for us. I know a whole team of CNN producers and reporters have been working on this. Elise, tell our viewers precisely what we know.
Well, Wolf, the information is just coming in kind of fast and furious. A senior U.S. counterterrorism official telling our Pam Benson that basically the United States has acquired a terrorist device. International allies and security partners working together have found an explosive device. This is kind of a little bit similar to the device, if you remember, that underwear bomb in 2009, where Abdul Muttalib was found to have an underwear bomb. They think that this is in connection with the al-Qaeda in the Arab Peninsula. That's that terrorist group in Yemen, and so they think it's related. But as we know, information coming in right now, we don't really know that
they
much.
found something that could have potentially been used to try to explode an airliner, but it was thwarted way in advance of that.
That's right. No airlines were affected. The U.S. was not in any danger at any point, as according to this official. And what a Yemeni official just told me just a while ago is that the Yemenis and other international partners did receive a warning from the United States around the anniversary of the attack on bin Laden that there could be a bomb. They didn't have a very specific target, but there was some information that there could be a bomb attack. There was a lot of talk about a possible body bomb or an airline bomb. Don't know right now, but they think that this is in connection with the al-Qaeda and Arab Peninsula bomb maker al-Asri, and Peter knows a lot more.
Peter Bergen is here, but I want to go to Chris Lawrence at the Pentagon. He's doing reporting on this as well. What are you hearing, Chris?
Well, Wolf, Defense Secretary Leon Panetta is about to start a press conference with the Chinese Minister of Defense any minute now. We hope to get a question to him about this plot and what the Pentagon may have known. I remember right around the time of the anniversary, we reported on a bulletin that went out from the Department of Homeland Security as well as the FBI. But this bulletin included U.S. Northern Command, which struck us as somewhat unusual. They're usually not included on warning bulletins like this. And it specifically mentioned that there was an aviation threat element. Wolf?
Chris, stand by. Peter Bergen, our national security contributors, listening to all this developing, some sort of new explosive device that may have been potentially used to try to knock out an airliner on the anniversary of bin Laden's death. What do you make of this?
Well, the bomb maker who's identified, al-Asri, has tried to blow up American planes, Northwest Flight 253, as Lisa said, but also 2 cargo planes flying to Chicago in October of 2010. That plot was basically the Saudis gave us extremely precise information about where this bomb could be found. He's also tried to kill Prince Nayef, the senior Ministry of the Interior official in Saudi Arabia, with a similar kind of device. He's still out there. Obviously, he's the most dangerous person in this group, which poses some kind of threat to the United States. And what's interesting about the story right now is it's not really clear where this device was recovered, but it looks, just from reading between the lines, like it might have been recovered in Yemen. Because if it wasn't a threat, it was, to airlines, as you've just put it, clearly it wasn't in Holland or in the UK, or it hadn't got out of the country, it looks like.
And let's be precise, the U.S. intelligence believes there are a lot more al-Qaeda operatives in Yemen and Somalia, for that matter, than there are in Afghanistan right now. Yemen, a hotspot for al-Qaeda. Fran Townsend, our national security contributor, is joining us as well. What do you make of this, Fran?
Well, I think, one, the fact that U.S. officials have the device itself, they're going through this, they're analyzing it now, and they ought to be able to tell. Bomb makers have signatures, and so certain ways they construct a device. And so if this is an al-Asri from his bomb-making cell, they'll be able to tell this. The other thing is, as Peter mentions, the Saudis really have worked very closely with U.S. officials against the al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula target, and it's likely the reference of the source to international partners includes some participation and assistance from the Saudi services.
Have you heard, Fran, anything over the past few weeks about this kind of suspected plot in the works?
No, I mean, going back to what Chris was saying, they did make references to an aviation threat around the anniversary. There was nothing specific. We were reassured that there was no specific or credible threat to the United States, and so we really hadn't heard anything other than that.
Another one of our contributors, Tom Fuentes, is joining us, a former assistant FBI director. What are you hearing, Tom? What do you make of this?
Wolf, what I've been hearing is that these are two separate streams of information. The information that came in regarding possible body bombs and affecting aviation, and then the information about this specific incident that the CIA had interrupted. There's actually two separate streams of communication that the information came from.
Two separate plots, is that what you're hearing, Tom? Is that what you're saying?
Not necessarily separate plots, but separate sources about the plots.
So let's be precise. One contains some new techniques, if you will, to put bombs inside the body of someone traveling. Is that right?
Well, it's not necessarily a new technique. We had the reports in Saudi Arabia a while back where someone allegedly had put an explosive device inside their body and tried to assassinate a prince and killing himself in the process. We had the underwear bomber where it wasn't concealed in his body, but next to his body inside of his underwear. So the plot that unfolded last week, or that was talked about, came from another source regarding the possibility that they would attempt to do another similar attack using either secreted explosives or something very close to their body. Now, in this particular plot, this could be the exact same plot. I'm just saying the information it actually came through separate channels.
Fran, let me go back to Fran Townsend. Fran, because at the time of the, when we heard some warnings out there, some releases that were put out by the Department of Homeland Security saying there were no credible threats or anything along those lines, but just out of an abundance of caution, they suggested everyone be careful around the time of the anniversary of bin Laden's death. If there was, in fact, a specific threat out there, those earlier suggestions, no credible threat, those statements would have been incorrect.
Well, Wolf, it may be, if at that point in the plot, when that statement was issued, they may have had it under control. They may have recovered the device. They may have identified the plot and felt like they had thwarted it. They put the warning out there because they knew that al-Qaeda was attempting to target aviation. But it's not clear. We don't know enough about the timing of when this plot was disrupted versus when the statement was put out. It is possible that they were accurate when they put it out. We just need more information to really assess that, Wolf.
Peter, how significant are these anniversaries for al-Qaeda trying to do something explosive, and forgive the pun, around the time of an anniversary?
Well, we know from the documents recovered in the 9/11 compound that there was bin Laden was very keen to celebrate, as it were, the 10th anniversary of 9/11. But, they've also attacked, Christmas Day, I think, wasn't a complete accident. It was, obviously it's a Christian holiday. It's also a time when security might be a bit more lax. So there was both something to do with an anniversary, but also a certain amount of opportunism on a Christmas Day. So I don't think there was any more likelihood of on an anniversary. Certainly the fact that bin Laden died, and, that would be something they'd want to mark. But, at the end of the day, this is the best they can do, something that doesn't even threaten really an airline, is a device that's recovered. It goes again to the kind of weakness that these groups have.
All right, I want everybody to stand by. We'll stay on top of the breaking news much more. We'll go to London. Nick Robertson is standing by. He's collecting information there as well. Stay with us. You're in the Situation Room.